Hi beautiful people, welcome to Kate's Space. I'm Kate from Pixie Designs and I have a journal share flip through for you today. This is one of two I've been working on for a while now. I had these old books, my last neutral journals, which I've just sold, were the same book covers, but these ones I've covered completely with this upholstery fabric. So they're a different sort of cover to the other ones. Now I have two on the go. The other one's proving to be a little bit tricky, so I decided I'd just focus on one, get it done and out there, and see if anyone would be interested in purchasing her. So they're 22 by 13.5. They don't have a very big spine, about a 3 centimeter spine here. Hidden hollow back binding with but the signatures are sewn in with a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. Only 2 signatures, about 76 pages including the doily, and I have used an Amity Bloom kit called Lilac. And yeah, so the thing that holds the journal closed, and again it is a bit of a wide mouth, but that's because of what's in it. If you take a lot of the things out, it does actually sit quite nicely. But you know, these frills and lace bits and things do cause bulk. She comes with a writing board. Now, I did show this on my Instagram, I think. Yeah, so this is the writing board. It's really good and sturdy and, you know, quite plain because it's just for putting under the pages. And this is what holds the journal closed. Now, this fabric I've used, and I've covered a few books with it that I'm making. Now, this one I wanted to pick out the purple, so we've got the purple rose here, these purple flowers as well. So, although primarily it is a teal fabric, anyway, I wanted to do purple. I wanted to give it a go, and then I realised I didn't actually have as much purple things as what I thought. I'm going to see how the light goes. If it's, once I edit it, if it looks really dark, I might have to just film this later because it's just a really super dark day. So yeah, this is the little front cover. It's made, again, this is a real chunky board, and on the back is a vintage 1964 envelope with all these lovely purple stamps on there, and there's a tuck spot behind there so you could store some things if you wanted to. And there's some seam binding and this lilac sort of satin ribbon. Now this was my mum's. Jo found it, I think, amongst some of mum's things and asked me if I wanted it, and I said yes, and now I've used it, so that's great. So yeah, without that on, it's quite a plain cover, but it's just a beautiful fabric. It's kind of a Sanderson look fabric. It is printed in England, but I don't know. The salvage didn't say Sanderson anywhere, so I'm not going to claim that it is. This is a graphics fairy inside cover, and I've used this little envelope. I put a little tiny hydrangea flower here and this teeny tiny tag. How cute is that? And this opens up. There's a little bag here with some extra pieces in it, little fussy cut flowers, one of those little vintage swaps, a wax seal, some New Zealand and other stamps. So that's in there, and also an index card that I've decorated a little bit with some lace and that sticker, and a card and some note paper with purple lines, which I thought worked. So yeah, those are tucked in there. So that envelope matches the note paper that's in there. And then there's this little bit of paper here for whatever, and you could glue this shut and put a little tuck a little few things in there. And there's a tuck spot here as well. So I'll just use this to demonstrate where the tuck spots are. Now this little front cover, this is an envelope flap that I've covered with a handkerchief. Now this undoes, but there's really nothing on the other side of that. So I decided to just kind of tie it closed here with this eyelet and with this ribbon through. There's a tuck spot here and this little plate that you could tuck a little label or something into. I haven't put anything in there, but yeah, you could pop something in there. And behind here is a flash card that I've altered with some ruffle and some embossed paper. And a little tag that I've made from a leftover from the kit. And another little tag, I think this is from this kit. I've got 2 kits that I'm working on. One's Evermore as well from her, but a little dried hydrangea flower on there, and just plain sort of very old paper on the back. So yeah, like I said, you can undo this ribbon here. And on this I've made a little tag with a tiny little lilac flower. Some music manuscript, some of the papers out of these old books. I had a whole set of them. This paper isn't necessarily out of this particular book cover, but they're all the same, different stories. But I like this emblem, and it has the date here. So I've just tied a couple of those on, and they're blank on the back, so they could be used to write on or whatever. Here's the doily page. This is some vintage wallpaper. Some antique ledger from 1896 to make that pocket, and then this is a graphics fairy printable, which I've altered a little bit by adding the flower and the stamp, and then I've put this rusty vintage pin in here with this label. So yeah, that's not genuine, but that looks really cool, and it's got the purple script, so I like that. Some washi tape down here. This was something that I saw Anna from Made by Grenath do, but she said that she'd seen Tony from Crafty by Tony and Seven Plaza do it, and probably various other people. But it's like a page tab, and then it's got all these papers, so it's kind of like a flippy pad, but it goes the other way, I guess. A flip scrap pad. So yeah, I've put a few papers in here, and I guess if you want to take them out, you just tear them out. They're just sewn here, and then this is glued on both sides. Yeah, so it sort of wraps around. I've got a little dangly thing here that says found, and this little Tim Holtz thing there's a little tuck spot up under there if you wanted to tuck something under there. Texture paste, some more ledger from, I don't know when, I think it's from the 30s, this one. A little lace cluster here. There is a date somewhere, I just don't know where. One of the sample die cut frames or slides, and this is from the kit, and I've backed that with some old paper from a photo album, which is why you can see the shape here. That's where a photo was. I like reusing those albums. Page from the kit with some velvet, beautiful velvet ribbon. This one here is the one I got from Lavish Laces, and some of the old lace here. A book page, something from the kit, some glass beads on the strings. This is some scrapbook of paper that I had, and I just thought it toned in. It's got the purples and sort of mauves and things. And this is from the kit, and I've backed that onto some very old sort of paper as a sort of journaling card, or again, it's quite firm, so you could actually use that as a writing board. A piece of old book page from 1814 that I've just done some texture paste on. I think that's from Dante. Another book page in this pocket, so that's quite a deep pocket, but this is from a book about butterflies, obviously, because there were butterflies in the kit, so I kind of carried that on a bit. This is from the kit, this beautiful picture image, and I've put it on a postcard image of a postcard, so it's faux, and just to make it look like a real postcard, but it's quite heavy because it's got a few layers. It's beautiful. This is a piece of original ephemera from Dunedin, New Zealand from 1912, but I like the purple typing on there. I thought it fitted well in this purple stamp here, so I thought that was cool, and I just added that cutout there of the pansy. This opens all the way out like that. It's a nice heavy strong ledger. A little piece of doily to decorate this coffee dyed paper, and some old lace that I own, and this is also a little tuck spot here. Some more texture paste on the back of this wallpaper, and I've just put a little bit of this is old vintage note paper in here out of a tiny little book that I have. And this is a vintage envelope, as you can see, from 1953 with the Queen on there. We're just coming up to King's birthday weekend actually. Some sari silk ruffle on there, and the other side of the wallpaper, Doily, music manuscript, and the page from the kit. This is from the kit, and I've just framed it with this Tim Holtz die, and this is an old French letter from 1947, but again I liked the sort of bluey purple writing on here, the ink. It's French, I don't know what it says, I'm pretty sure it's a love letter though. So these do open. This is the other side of that front envelope flap, and I didn't like how it looked, so I kind of opened it all out. I've backed it with this beautiful image from the Graphics Fairy, which is like a sampler. And you can undo this and it will open out, but I've just kind of kept it as a tuck spot here. I didn't do a bow because again it makes it much more bulky, but I've got this old card, postcard in here, to Auntie Mary with love from Maggie. There's no stamp or date on here. It's a beautiful embossed postcard though, and it is old. In this pocket I've made with some old eyelet lace and a ruffle from some sari silk that I have, and this is from the kit. It's like a little file folder, and I've made a wee book out of it. Just put some old papers in here, some old book page, an old birthday book from the 1800s. Again, this is sort of rag paper. This is actually some beautiful watercolor paper that I've printed on. And actually no, that's not watercolor paper, that's just a handmade rag paper, cotton rag. Yeah, so, and then yeah, it's got a really old piece at the front, so that tucks in there. And yeah, this is like a frame from it's this frame here actually. So I've used it again and put some acetate with the butterfly and a pansy. Yeah, pansy from my garden. And another old postcard. This is actually a favourite of mine, but she had this lovely lilac dress on her, and I was thinking it suited this journal beautifully. It's got a New Zealand stamp on there and no date. Dear Hilda. So yeah, I have included it, and that was a hard one to let go, I have to admit. It's one of my faves. This is actually, I'm pretty sure, Ruby and Pearl. Just decorated this piece of manuscript with some lace. There's a little bit of embossing down the bottom here, and this is from the kit, just a little photo card. And I found some old music manuscript cover that basically was almost the perfect colour to go on the back of there. I love how that turned out. It was really great. I tried my hand at a little hidden paper clip. In the making, I think it's made the paper clip, it's not super tight. That's probably a good thing. And anyway, this tucks here. This is some old French book page from an old book, and that tucks up in there. And then on this side I put some more book page. I've got these little flowers that I've cut out from various images and dotted them throughout. And so this is a French book page rag paper as well. A pansy, this is from the kit, and this is like some postage stamp album paper. This is cut out from a Ruby and Pearl digital print, and this is from the kit. So it opens out, had a little tear in it, so I fixed it with some old tape that I'd used some ink on. This is one of my beautiful music covers, love it, and I chose it obviously for this violet ink and stamping, but it's got beautiful script on it as well. I've done nothing with it because I was going to put something on it, and like a fussy cut, but I didn't want to cover it up, so someone else could do that if they wanted to. There's another one of the little wee flowers, and tucked in here is a vintage greeting card. I don't know how old this is. It came in an album that I purchased, and oh, there you go, 1931, to Isabel from Brown Owl. But it had this lovely purple string. You can see the glue on the back where it was stuck into the album, where I've managed to soak it off. Yeah, so, and a rusty owl clip down here. This opens out, a bit of pianola roll music here and a fussy cut, some lace on the brown paper. I made this little belly band. I found this little millinery or faux flower in the op shop the other day, and I brought it home along with some other ones that are not purple. This is from the kit. It's an envelope, and I haven't, as you can see, I haven't glued it shut. I just thought I would leave it open for someone else to do something with. This is from the New Zealand Gazette from the 1800s, and again it's got this purple stamp on it. I've folded it so it could be glued and strengthened, it could be torn, it could be made into a pocket. I've left it for someone to play with. I had some note paper that I had dyed with, and it has these purple lines on it, and this little purple scrap. This is vintage. It's not one of the really old ones, I don't think. But it is old. It's got that kind of embossing to it. I thought it looked real cute there. A page from the Franklin Flora. A page from the kit. Another lace sort of cluster here. And there's a purple bead, glass bead here. So I had made that and I thought I'll pop that in because it's of that beautiful shiny sparkly glass bead. I haven't done anything with the central signature. I just thought it was very beautiful. A little wax seal on some sari silk ribbon. This is a tuck spot as well. Actually, I don't know why, but this is my favorite page. I wasn't sure what to do. It's the other side of the book page, and I had this piece of book page that had texture paste on it, and I thought, oh, I'm going to glue that on. So this is a little tuck spot if you want it to be, and then again these little fussy cut flowers that I've dotted through here. I really love how that turned out, and that is an old book page. I've left this one as is. This is some wallpaper that I had, or a wallpaper border. Again, this is a big tuck spot, and it's on the other side of that Gazette. So again, this opens right out, so it's doubled over for someone to do whatever they want to with it, and this opens out, and there's some washi tape here. So I've left that to be used or changed as and when someone wanted to. Just some plain brown paper bag page here, and I've done a little bit of decoration on this side with some of this very old lace. This is something I got from Lavish Laces in one of the vintage grab bags, and these are from the kit that I've cut out, and this is just some leftover from the kit. Here's the other side of the music paper, and I've put a piece of French ephemera in here from 1906. So it's a letter with a beautiful letterhead. I thought it was really gorgeous, and I hope you agree with that. And I just thought the colour of the typing again, and in the background here we've just got, I did some printing onto some of that washi paper, sticker paper. It's not really washi, it's quite shiny, it's got quite a gloss to it, but it does print up quite nice. It's quite fun. And then some embossed pianola roll here, a little faux flower that I've coloured with some watercolours, and another little scrap of lace. And there's the other side of that music page, which I've left as is. Here's a little photo here from the kit. Now what I've done is I've just used some of the little vintage photo corners from the recent photo album that I was gifted, and so this photo comes out. It's printed on both sides, so the back of it, let's just check I haven't glued that in, just caught there. The back of it looks like that. So yeah, it's a little space where you could put a photo or something else, or write behind here, or whatever. A little tag I made that I've just attached to that little hole there, and it can be used as a tuck spot with an old French agenda page from 1931. Just some coffee dyed paper. A piece of linen. I think I got this from Tracy J Designs, and I re-embroidered where it had white embroidery, and I re-embroidered it with this lilac. Another postcard with these gorgeous pansies on it, another favourite. This is another New Zealand piece, so it's to Willie from Rose, and I love how that looks in there. In here I've got another postcard. So this is one of the recent ones I got, but I just thought I presume this is what, maybe heather. Anyway, near Balmoral. I just thought the colours went really well in this journal. It's, I don't know how old it is. It's British. It's an art colour postcard, but it looks really cool in there, I thought. And then this is a wee tag I've made with this little crocheted flower, some sari silk, and it's got this piece of old ledger on the back, which I've just folded up so it can be used or torn off. I have a glassine bag here that envelope that I've made out of some old glassine out of a photo album, and I have just coffee dyed that a little bit to age it, and I love how you can see the embroidery pattern or monograms coming through. Just a piece of lined card there for journaling on or turning into something, and this postcard that I made using Graphics Fairy printables. I put a real French vintage stamp on there, and I love how that turned out, and I put a little bit of glitter on there. I don't know if you can see it, but I love it. I just really love how that turned out, and I've got some more, so I'm going to make a few more because yeah, I really love them. And this is the last page. I've made a little lace pocket, as you can see, and I've cut out a little bit of a doily, rusty pin, and some more of those little lilac flowers. And here's an envelope in here that I thought I would include because it has this lovely purple. This is a ruby and pearl digital, and it's got the purple sari silk on it. And I made this a long time ago when I was doing the 100-day project a few years ago, and I made all those envelopes, and I've still got a whole heap of them, so when I can I use them. And this has a tuck spot here. This is a really heavy tag, so I don't know, will it fit in? Oh yeah, there we go. And that is this wee journal. I really love her, and again, yes, I've done the whole made her too fat for the spine, but oh well, it is what it is. I'm thinking maybe the other one I should make more of a writing journal. I should have maybe, when I was covering these, made new spines for them, but I wanted to use them. So she is beautiful. Should make a great writing journal. There's lots of spaces for journaling and writing and decorating, so I've left lots of scope for someone to do amazing things in this journal, and I hope you'd like it. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Thanks so much for all your support. I hope you like the journal. Let me know what you think below, and I will talk to you again soon in the next video. Bye.